Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to be doing the 3 marker challenge, and I've actually done a 3 marker challenge before, but I really wasn't happy with the outcome of it, and I think I've improved a little bit since then, so I want to redo the 3 marker challenge. So like always, whenever I'm choosing a random Copic color, I am going to be using my Copic markers for this. I think I have around 100 colors. I have some duplicates, but I think it's like around there, I'm not positive, but I'm just going to choose 3 of these little pieces of paper that I have my colors written on inside this little container, and I'm just going to choose 3 random ones, and then I'm going to open them, and those are the ones that I have to color with. So 2 and 3. This is the most exciting part, always. W3, I always get this color. Every time I do a marker challenge, I always get a warm gray. This is the 3rd time. Why does this always happen? E35. I think that's an interesting color. Oh yeah, I like that color. That's like a nice caramel kind of brown. And the last one, oh, I just ripped it. RV25. Oh, ooh, I like these colors. I was hoping I'd get something nice for this. Okay, this is interesting. So this is RV25, it's a sketch marker, E35, which is a chow, and W3, which I have in a sketch marker. This is really interesting. I always get warm grays though. I only have 3, and the 3 times I've done a marker challenge, I did a 5 marker challenge once because I wanted to have like a wide color palette. I got a warm gray. For my 1 marker challenge I got a warm gray, and now for this one I'm getting another warm gray. It's so weird. Okay, so now I'm just going to color this. I have to make a new tag for this one because it just ripped. But now I'm just going to color this drawing using these 3 colors, and I'm going to go into time lapse for that, so I hope you'll enjoy it. This marker is actually kind of running out of ink. So if it does run out of ink, I have this replacement one that I might use. It's a different color, but they're really similar, so if this runs out, then I have to switch to E23 instead of E35. Just so you know. So if you see me using a different marker, you know it's this one and not this one. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the drawing itself. So I actually sketched this drawing and I inked it off camera just so that this video would only show me using the 3 different markers, just because it's the 3 marker challenge, so I just wanted to get straight to the point. I know it's interesting to see the sketching process, but I just felt like doing that off camera. I did use a bit of a reference just for like her arm, the pose of her arm and her hand as well, 2 different photos to see how those are positioned, and I did the hair just from my mind, I guess, and I decided to make her hair swirly as if she's lying down on the ground, but for some reason I really wanted to draw crystals, and I don't know why, so I drew crystals around the border, and she has a crystal around her neck. And for coloring the skin, I used the warm gray because it was a really good color to do skin with, but I wanted to incorporate some of the pink into the skin, and the pink is so bright, it's almost a neon pink. Like, it is really bright. That's why I love that color, because it's so pigmented, like there's so much color in that marker, and it's so like vivid, and I wanted to incorporate some of that into her skin, but if I went straight in with that marker it would be way too bright. So I did the tip to tip method, I think that's what people call it, where you touch the 2 brush ends of the Copic marker or the chisel nibs, whichever end you prefer to color with. You touch them together and the color transfers between the markers. So the pink actually went onto the warm gray pretty nicely. So what I ended up with was a nice muted pink tone that I could use for her cheeks and for her lips and some of the shading in her skin. And I thought that worked out really nicely. The camera kind of washes it out a bit, so you'll see it more at the end in the scan and in the photograph of it. Or do I have a photograph of it, or is it just a scan? I think it's just a scan, but you'll see it a little bit clearer in the scan, even though the scan also washes out the color. When I tried to scan it, if a color is too close to gray, like if it's a really light color or it doesn't have very much saturation to it, the scanner will turn it gray. So of course scanners wash everything out, so I just adjust the levels, but if I up the saturation all the way, it still stays gray. So it actually is gray. So I have to do another layer and I have to colorize it and try to match it to the warm gray color. So I tried to do that the best that I could. And you'll see what it looks like at the end. I did have a lot of fun using these colors. Oh, and my, what was it, E35 dried out. And so I had to use the E23 instead. And they're so similar, you can hardly tell that I switched markers. So that's why I suddenly start using that marker, but I did explain that previously. I did have a lot of fun working with these colors. I thought that the color palette actually turned out pretty nicely. And these are colors I normally wouldn't choose to go together, but that's the beauty of doing this challenge. You get forced to use certain colors, so you get to, it kind of takes you outside your comfort zone and you might discover some things that you didn't realize before, like, oh my gosh, these colors work really nicely together. It's just a good way to kind of expand your knowledge as an artist and to challenge yourself. So these were the markers that I ended up using. Most of the times I just had to switch one of them. So to recap, it was RV25, Warm Gray 3, and E23. So those were the colors that I used. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this. It was a lot of fun to make. I love doing these marker challenge videos. And thanks for watching.